In this race, I got my heart rate over 185 in less than 3 minutes, struggled to stay on, and got dropped on a 2% grade. Let's see how it went. We're in the Herd Winter Racing League, which again is all categories, A's, B's, C's, and D's, all riding together. And my goal here, as always, is stick with the front group as long as I can, try and hang on as long as I can after that. We start with this pretty rough climb. It's about 2 minutes. We all did it in 140 in this front group, and it's got some steep sections. It's pretty tough. My teammate and I really pushed just to stay with this group. We were in the same mindset. We figured we'd get dropped pretty quickly, but wanted to stay on as long as possible. We were able to stick with them and then stick with the group on this descent. I saw in a couple of other people's videos, some folks got dropped on this descent. Zwift changed the pack dynamics again, so over a climb, you really need to be in the draft to get going. So we stick with everyone on the descent, which is lucky, and then we got a few more pinch points coming up where some separations are going to be made. The first of those is the Clyde Kicker, which comes at about 3.5 kilometers in, and this is a short little pinch into a very steep pinch. It's all really short. It's a sprint effort, and you can see I'm going to the front to start this thing. I want to get as much sliding room as possible. I want to use as little effort as possible. We have some orange numbers throughout the group, so everyone's sprinting up the top of this thing. It wasn't actually as bad as I thought it would be, and at the end, we're still with that front group, and we're still all together, ready to fight through another segment. That next segment comes up a few kilometers later, and it's this long, draggy section up to the, I don't know, there's a banner. I don't know what the banner actually means. But we're stuck in this long, draggy bit. It starts at about 1%. It goes up eventually to maybe 4%, but this is the place where people can push it. And again, my teammate and I, we're both more on the sprinty side. We've got some pretty good long power, but we're not going to compete with the A's and the high B's. So the folks who have a really high FTP are able to just push this here like it's nothing. We're able to push it and stick with the group, but it's not exactly nothing. Now we're going to come over the top here and we're going to get down a nice descent, which is going to be a really, really nice rest. And then we come into a steep little pinch. Coming into the dip just before the pinch is when I start to push it. I'll come right through the group and hit the front with some speed. So here we go, there's someone else doing the same thing, and we're just trying to minimize our effort. The more speed we come into this thing with, the less we have to do on the actual little pinch. I really wanted to save that feather power up, but doesn't matter, I will use it when I need to, and we're over again with the front group. Now starts the section where we have 4 times through the breakaway bray reverse. It's going to get confusing because we'll start to get folks, lapped riders, into the mix as well because everyone's doing this section so many times. It is a really kind of easy section, but it hurts a lot. Goes up to maybe 4%, but just a little bit. It's really just a little incline, and this is really where the fatigue will start to set in. So get over the first one feeling just fine, but as we loop back around to the second is really when this pain starts to kick in. Again, folks push it at the front as they should, and my teammate and I are just trying to push to stay on. We're able to get up and over this one. Again, I'm using a featherweight power up. I'd love to save that for the climb at the very end, but I just can't. Now this is the one where my teammate gets tailed off. He can't make it just over that very top, and he's going to drop back a little bit. But because we've been with this front group for so long, we're actually sitting kind of pretty. We're, 10th, 11th, 12th around there in the race, and we've got a big lead on the folks in the pack behind. Now, I have to push a lot. I have to use a power up already just to get back to this group. And this is also when I realized I have a gearing issue. I was stuck in a gear I didn't want it. I wanted to be in a bigger gear, and I couldn't get there. So I futzed with that a lot, and that's probably a mistake. I should have just let it go and played it as it was, but I still try and play with it. I try and get it going, and I'm at the back of this group. I'm really trying to stick on this guy in the red shorts, and I just can't. He goes to 7 watts per kilo. I don't have that right now, and that's it. That's my race done. I get tailed off, so both of us get dropped from this group in pretty quick succession. I've still got one more, or we both still have one more of these things, and then the final climb, but our places are pretty set. we're off this front group, we're not coming back to it, and the folks behind us are quite a long ways behind us. Now, there are a few ups and downs that I cut out, but it's just a lot of solo riding, and we're coming into that final climb. Now, if you ever do this course, it's the breakaway crits and breakfast. I kind of forget the name of the course, but BRAEK-fast crits and something. Anyway, it ends with this 2-minute climb, the same one that you start with, and really this is a pretty fun climb. It's 2 minutes, it's really tough. It starts out with a steep little pinch, but then you've got this nice little flat-ish section here, and if you can really get some speed coming into the final orange section, it ends with a nice flat part and you can just cruise to the finish. Obviously here, we're just taking it in at zone 2, zone 3-ish. We're just trying to get this race finished. Overall, though, we got 11th, 12th, 13th for our team, so pretty great results. We were happy with this one and a good herd race.